Virtual clinical trials shift selected trial activities away from sites using secure digital tools and community-based services. Often called decentralized trials, they sit on a spectrum, from conventional site visits with electronic patient-reported outcomes, through hybrids using eConsent, tele-visits, couriered samples, and home health, to near-virtual designs with direct-to-patient shipments. This matters for data managers, statisticians, and medical writers, because the model changes feasibility, safety oversight, data flows, and documentation. Use virtual or hybrid designs when primary endpoints are reliable off-site. Symptom diaries through electronic clinical outcome assessment, approved sensors for vital signs, and simple functional tests are good candidates. Chronic follow-up, dermatology with image capture, and some natural history studies fit well. Keep on-site components when you need intensive pharmacokinetic sampling, complex imaging, interventional procedures, or close post-dose observation. IMP with tight temperature ranges, hazardous handling, or high unblinding risk often stays on site. Most studies are hybrid. Map each procedure to the safest, most reliable location, and build logistics and oversight around that choice. Here is how a typical model works. Recruitment starts with pre-screen outreach and eligibility checks via tele-visits and local tests. eConsent lets participants review materials at home, ask questions on secure video, and sign electronically with built-in identity checks. Baseline assessments combine tele-clinician interactions, home nurse visits for samples, and device provisioning. Participants record outcomes in an electronic clinical outcome assessment app. Wearables stream time-stamped data into a validated platform. Couriers transport samples with temperature-monitored chain of custody. The site retains source documentation. Certified digital copies live in controlled repositories. Data from apps, sensors, labs, and home visits flow to staging areas, then into clinical databases with traceability. Centralized monitoring flags missingness, protocol deviations, safety signals, and potential fraud. The principal investigator reviews dashboards and patient-level findings and documents actions. Regulators support decentralized elements when the protocol justifies them and risks are managed, with emphasis on validated systems, audit trails, role-based access, proportionate monitoring, and strong privacy controls. Preparation is where teams gain speed and reduce rework. Begin with a structured risk assessment that links each decentralized activity to safeguards for safety, data integrity, and privacy. Create a single end-to-end data flow map from participant to database, including vendors, couriers, repositories, reconciliation points, and ownership of each handoff. Choose technology for usability as well as features. Provision devices when you need control over versions or connectivity. Bring your own device can widen access but needs compatibility checks and clear guidance. Designed for offline capture, with queued sync so patchy connectivity does not block collection. Encrypt data in transit and at rest, collect only what you need, and state clearly how data are used and shared. Define PI oversight through the delegation log, training, and routine review of eligibility, safety, and endpoints. In the monitoring plan, describe what gets verified to source, when remote SDV is feasible, and where on-site visits remain necessary. Include centralized algorithms, triggers for targeted checks, and escalation rules. Bake quality and data ownership into vendor contracts, including audit rights and service levels. Here is a quick checklist for a synopsis stage study with a 6-month runway. Run a structured risk assessment and anchor the protocol to it. Draw one data flow map covering apps, sensors, labs, home visits, and storage. Then test it with sample data. Pilot the full participant journey with a small group and fix usability issues before first patient in. Lock in PI oversight with clear roles, training, and dashboards that surface clinical priorities. Prepare contingency plans for device loss, shipment delay, and missed tele-visits, with pre-approved alternatives that keep collection compliant. Watch for common pitfalls. Do not over-virtualize complex or safety-critical procedures. Avoid fragile drug supply chains by planning temperature control, delivery windows, handover records, buffer stock, and rapid resupply. Treat identity assurance as humane but robust, using document checks, liveness tests, and periodic re-verification. Assume technology will fail and specify fallbacks such as phone capture, paper for critical outcomes with certified copies, or local facility assessments. Reconcile electronic clinical outcome assessment, sensor, and lab feeds to the participant and visit windows with automated checks for out-of-range values, implausible patterns, and duplicates. Do not equate access with inclusion. Offer device provision, readable multilingual interfaces, telephone options, and local facilities within sensible travel times. Use central monitoring to spot differential missingness and intervene. Align incentives across vendors so no one optimizes for their own silo at the expense of end-to-end flow. Use virtual elements where they strengthen data quality, safety, and access, and keep the rest on site. To learn how Quanticut can support your next trial, email inquiries@quanticut.com or submit an RFI through our website.